What's up, guys? We're back here for 2018, and I'm so happy to see you and talk to you again this brand new year. Happy New Year, guys. And with a new year comes plenty of new films each year, guys. Films just keep piling out at us, and we have plenty of beauties to discuss for 2018. So let's get right into my anticipated films of 2018. First film, which I'm anticipating heavily for 2018, it's actually already coming out. It's the computer. Here you go. I'll let the movie poster tell you what the title is. It's The Commuter, guys, and it stars Liam Neeson. It's an action film. It's directed by the same person who directed Non-Stop. I recently rewatched that film the other night. I really enjoyed that. So if I can get a chance to check it out, I definitely will. Liam Neeson is one of my favorite actors of all time, as well as one of my favorite action stars. I feel like when he's in these action roles, he's a really compelling performance. And yeah, if it's directed by the same guy who directed Non-Stop, which I really enjoyed, then why would I not be anticipating this next installment? Coming in at number 2, guys, is Black Panther, the new MCU movie, and this time we're going to Wakanda. And guys, Black Panther, I've liked this character for a very long time. I can't wait to see how Chadwick Boseman portrays him in the film and how he builds into the MCU scheme, as he's coming in pretty late. But then again, we are getting a whole slate of new characters coming in. So hopefully he can fulfill the boots of like Iron Man and Captain America. So in the future, he can be a really big player in the MCU. But giving him his first solo movie, it's really exciting times, especially for the African American community. I think it's great how they're being represented in film, and it looks really well done. I can't wait to go see this. I'm seeing it in an advanced screening, so hopefully I can get the review out early for you guys to give you my thoughts on the film before it actually releases. Originally, when I saw the first few trailers, I actually wasn't as big a fan of this film as I probably would have liked. I was probably anticipating it the least out of a lot of MCU films, but definitely as time's gone on, I've liked the film. I've liked the direction it's taking. I like all the technology and costume design and characters that they're putting into the film. So yeah, I'm actually really ready to see it now, and I actually think that it could be a really good film. Alright, guys, so next is Sherlock Gnomes, and this is a sequel to Romeo and Juliet, which is kind of a parody of the traditional Romeo and Juliet, and this one will be a parody of Sherlock Holmes. I'm assuming, but it's an animated film. It's got the gnome characters who portray these characters who are meant to be mocking the original. So I enjoyed the first one. It was nothing spectacular, but for the second one, I reckon it could be alright. So why not put it on my anticipated list? Next on the list, guys, we have Steven Spielberg's next film, Ready Player One, and I really wasn't anticipating this at all. I don't even know if I knew this existed until I saw the trailer a few times in theaters. After a few times seeing it in theaters, I was really on board. This thing looks incredible, from the stylistic points to the way it visually looks to the character and plot which they're giving the story. I love the escaping world of the Oasis, and I think it's going to be a really interesting adventure to go see these characters try to get the complete control of the Oasis and inherit $500 billion, is it? So I think that could be a really interesting arms race, and it could be a really interesting plot device in the film. As I said, it already looks stunning, so they've already ticked one big box. So now all it needs to do is deliver on a plot, and with Steven Spielberg directing, I love some of his films, so I guess it's in good hands, so hence why I'm anticipating it. Next, we have the new X-Men film. This is the New Mutants, and they're taking more of a horror vibe to this. I have to admit, though, I am anticipating Dark Phoenix later on in the year a lot more than this, only because I don't know a lot about the New Mutants. I know that Cable and Deadpool stemmed from the comic run of the New Mutants, but I don't actually know a lot about the characters themselves. I don't really have any connection to them in whatsoever anyway. The trailer didn't get me too excited, but because it's an X-Men film and it's in Marvel's hands, I love the Marvel property, hence that's why it's on the list. However, though, it's probably at the bottom of, if you ranked all the superhero films from most anticipated to least anticipated, this is probably down in the least anticipated one of this year, purely because I'm not a bigger fan of how they're going with the horror vibe. It could work. I'm not going to count it out whatsoever, but I'm just saying right now, from my point of view, I'm not really anticipating it too heavily, but because it's a Marvel and an X-Men related film, I guess I do have some anticipation for it. Coming up next is Truth or Dare, Blumhouse's new film for 2018, and I absolutely thought this was a great idea. This is an absolutely great idea. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. Don't know how they're going to execute it in the film. The trailer was so. I did react to that on my channel right now. It didn't blow me away too much. I thought it was okay. I would have liked a better trailer, but I like Truth or Dare, so hopefully Blumhouse can deliver again. They give us another trailer later on, which really gets the hype level up, and yeah, I'm all for this film because I love the concept. Then the one we've all been waiting for, and I tell you what, it takes a lot to get above Star Wars films for my most anticipated film of the year, but this time, guys, we have Avengers Infinity War, and I'm a massive MCU fan. I've seen every single MCU film in theaters since Thor: The Dark World. I've loved the saga. I've loved watching it come to life, even though I missed the initial Avengers assemble line, but I've absolutely loved the saga. I still love it. I love the end credit scenes, the way the plot works, the humor, the action, the way they develop the characters, the way they intertwine them so they can have team up films. And this is the ultimate team up film. It's everything that you wanted to see. You get to see Thanos in action. You get to see the Avengers come together with the expanded parts of the Marvel Universe, like the Guardians of the Galaxy. You're going to see new Avengers come into the scheme. It's going to be a heck of an adventure, and I cannot wait for this. The Infinity Stone saga is finally getting revealed on screen. It's super exciting. I love the trailer. I've watched it so many times since its release, and I just love the trailer more and more. And as the anticipation builds for it, so does my anticipation, and I absolutely am really excited for this film. It's my most anticipated film of the year. I can't wait to see the Avengers get on screen and fight the Mad Titan Thanos. Next, we have Slender Man, and I watched the trailer for this. I wasn't a huge fan of the trailer, but I do like the concept of Slender Man. It didn't really show too much of the trailer, so I don't have too much to go on. But I like how Slender Man is as a character. I think they can do some pretty creepy and eerie stuff with him. So I'm on board for a Slender Man film. I'll just have to wait and see for some more trailers to see if it really piques my interest. Next, we have Solo, a Star Wars story, guys. The next Star Wars film, and I have to admit, this is probably the least anticipated Star Wars film for me over this 5-year course with Rogue One, this, and the 3 episodic films. I'm just not a big fan of the idea so far, but however, of course, it's Star Wars, so I'm on board as a massive Star Wars fan, but I just haven't seen the trailer yet. I think it's coming out at a bad time, having Avengers Infinity War releasing the same month, and also just coming off The Last Jedi around 6 months earlier. It's still in theaters right now, so there's really not going to be a big gap. So I'm not sure if the plot will be rushed or whatever. The production could be rushed. I'm not a huge fan of the cast and crew, but you know, it's Star Wars, so of course it's on my anticipated list, and it's high up there because Star Wars is my thing. I love it to pieces, and yeah, I'm really thrilled that we are getting another Star Wars film this year. I just wish that it wasn't a Han Solo film, but I am going to put it in good hands because it is Star Wars, Lucasfilm. I mean, they've done great things in the past, so hopefully they can do it again. Next up, we have Deadpool 2 and Deadpool 1. What a surprise. Ryan Reynolds brought Deadpool back from the dead, back from the horrible representation we had in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and completely revitalized the character in an epic comedy and action film, which was a spin-off from the X-Men franchise, which I absolutely loved. It was smart, the humor was played very well, it understood where it was in the universe. Obviously, not being an MCU film, it had plenty of legway to play with dirty jokes and some foul-mouthed language, but I absolutely loved the film. The plot was great, the humor was great, the characters and acting were spectacular, and when a film gets all those 4 things right while being a superhero film, you know you've got a bloody good film. And Deadpool 2, adding in Cable, this is going to be one heck of an adventure. I can't wait. I am signed on. Next up, we have The Incredibles 2, and I was not a bigger fan as The Incredibles 1, as a lot of people are, mainly because it's not from my childhood personally, but I can see why a lot of people are really anticipating the film. I like the first one, that's why it's on this list, but I'm not going to be rushing out on day one to go see this. You know, the trailer didn't show much at all, but it was a teaser, so what do you expect? But nevertheless, I do like Pixar, I do like Disney, and I did like their first Incredibles, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be anticipating the second. Next up, we have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and this could get very interesting. I feel like this is going to deviate a lot from the plot of the first one. This one, it looks like the dinosaurs are escaping from the park, so this makes for a really, really good concept where the rangers can have to track them down, and that could be a really interesting thing. The trailer was alright, hoping to get another one which shows us a bit more, but I am anticipating the film. I love the first Jurassic World, so hopefully the second installment can pick up where that one left up and completely just add this franchise and let it keep going. Next, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, guys, and my trailer reaction for this is on my channel right now. And guys, I can't wait for this film. I really, really like the original Ant-Man. I love Wasp, and I love the inclusion of Wasp. This is going to be a really cool team-up film. First film after Infinity War, so that's going to be really interesting, and I cannot wait for this film. It's going to be a great ride. MCU has done it once again. They come up with the great superhero team up and superhero solo film ideas, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's a classic, and how they're including it is absolutely great in the MCU. Next up, we have The Nun, and this is the spin-off of The Conjuring 2, The Nun from that movie. There's been no trailer as of yet, but I will say that I think it could be a good horror film. I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, hopefully we can get a trailer soon. Next, we have Mission Impossible 6, and I wasn't as big a fan as Mission Impossible 5, as a lot of viewers were. A lot of people really enjoyed that film. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a good action film, but I would have liked to see more. I still love Mission Impossible 3, despite unpopular opinion. And Mission Impossible 6, I'm clinging on to a string of hope that could be spectacular, but I think that this may just be an average action film. But I'm still anticipating it because I know Mission Impossible can be great. Tom Cruise is an exceptional actor, and I know that the team producing these Mission Impossible films want to do a good product. So hopefully they can deliver that onto the screen. Next, we have Teen Titans Go to the movies, and this is based on that animated show which many people despise. And I don't hate the show personally. I don't think it's a great show, but I have watched a few episodes. It's watchable, but I'm hoping in movie form that they can get it right. It's mainly on here because it's a DC property, and I love my superheroes, DC and Marvel. So they can do really cool stuff with the Teen Titans as long as they do it properly. And if it's not like the TV show, it might even get some good critical reception. But it is on here because it is a DC film. It's a superhero movie, and I love superhero movies, animated or not animated. There's another superhero film coming out this year, which is animated, which is also on my list, which you'll find out about later. But it's a DC property, it's superheroes, it's a team up. So I'm clinging on to a little bit of hope that they can do the movie justice and make it a lot better than they did with the TV show. Next up on the list, we have The Predator, and I know zero about this film, so I'm just going to move right on, but I'm just going to say that I believe it might be a reboot, but, The Predator, so I'm guessing it could be alright. Next, we have The Spy Who Dumped Me, another one which I know nothing about, but the name sounds cool, so why not? Alright, so now we have the emoji movie of 2018 for me, guys, and we have Barbie. And honestly, if you think that I'm excited for this, you're wrong. I'm anticipating it because I'm anticipating all of the drama surrounding it. I don't know if I'll see it myself. I didn't see the emoji movie. I might see it just to make fun of it, but I'm actually not sure. But I'm anticipating the drama around this film. The Barbie movie, this is a horrible idea. I'm just going to say it right now. What are we, about 10 months before it's released? It's a horrible idea. Why are you doing this? End of story. Next, we have a New Line horror film, which is TBA. I can't really say much about that, but it's a New Line horror film, so hopefully it's great. Alright guys, next up we have a film that Spider-Man fans from the 90s have probably been wanting since their childhood, and this is the Venom film. Unfortunately, he was not portrayed as well as some may have liked in Spider-Man 3, so it's great how Sony is clinging on just to that little bit of Spider-Man they have left, and they're putting out a Venom film with Tom Hardy. He's an exceptional actor. I love his work, especially as Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. But yeah, so hopefully they can go for a more gritty Venom film, and it will be really, really well done, well produced. Come on, Sony, you can do it. Let's deliver a Venom film which is separate from the MCU. Just take the character, focus on the character. I honestly think this will be a very good film, similar to Deadpool, a spin-off of another franchise. But I am very, very, very happy that they're making it, and I'm excited to get a trailer. I have faith in this film, and yeah, so that's why Venom is on this list. And plus, I just love Spider-Man, and Venom is to do with Spider-Man. So bring it on. Next up, we have Goosebumps Horrorland, and this is a sequel to the 2015 film Goosebumps. And yeah, I'm excited for this film. I'm not anticipating it over too much, but I guess it's going to be a good film. The first one was a fine film. I didn't mind it. I didn't love it. But definitely didn't hate it. It was in the middle. It was just a good film. It's a good watch. Not something that I'll repeatedly go watch consistently, but just, yeah, a good watch. So hopefully the second does the same. Next up on the list, we have Halloween, and this is a remake of the original, and I'm really excited for this film. I reckon this can be really gritty, very smart, very horror-y. It can do horror aspects correctly, and yeah, I'm really excited for this film. I haven't seen the original, but I've heard good things about it, so I can't wait for this remake. Hopefully, it's the It of this year in terms of anticipation-wise, but it's actually scarier than It. So hopefully it's going to be really, really good. I really, truly hope it is. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the Halloween remake. Next on the list, we have Mowgli, the new Jungle Book film by Andy Serkis, and this is a different film to the 2016 one, which I really, really, really enjoyed. And this is going to be a more darker, gritty one, I've heard. So I'm really excited for that. You know, the Jungle Book is such a great story. You can do so many things with it. And with Andy Serkis behind motion capture, how can this possibly be bad? He's my favorite motion capture actor out there at today. And really, with him on board with this and making the Jungle Book film, you know, this is going to be something special. And I can't wait to see Mowgli as a different reimagining of the story compared to Disney's. So it's awesome how we're getting two different versions of this. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Mowgli. Now we have X-Men Dark Phoenix, and this is the film that I was talking about earlier with the New Mutants. I am anticipating this a lot more than New Mutants, purely because I built up a relationship with the characters over the past three films. Apocalypse wasn't great. Days of Future Past was pretty good. I wasn't a big fan of First Class, so I'm not sure how they're going to go with Dark Phoenix, but Dark Phoenix is such a compelling saga. Despite unpopular opinion, I like The Last Stand, and I like the Dark Phoenix saga in that. So hopefully they can do it right and they can please a lot of people with Dark Phoenix, including myself as an X-Men fan, and just continue the story on. But I just really hope that they don't drag it out and they get to the point. And if the story needs to end after Dark Phoenix, wrap up the movie arc, they do instead of trying to extend it over. But I hope that Dark Phoenix can be a really good film. It's a Marvel X-Men property, so I'm on board, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a trailer for it. Next, we have Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, and I was a massive fan of the first Fantastic Beasts. I really liked it. I loved the story. I loved the characters. I loved just how it looked, the plot. It was a really, really, really good film. I would recommend checking it out if you haven't. But the second one here, I reckon it has potential to be a great film, just like that one. I haven't seen a trailer yet, so I don't know too much about this film, but I'm really excited for it. And yeah, I am excited to see all the characters back on screen again and to pick up from where they left off. Next, we have WreckIt Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. What a great title. No, seriously though. WreckIt Ralph 1 was a spectacular, spectacular movie. I loved it. I loved the characters, the plot, the story, how everything interacted, the animation. It was a fantastic script. The characters well developed. I mean, it's one of Disney's best films in my opinion. So WreckIt Ralph 2, I'm completely on board. It's come far too late. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I loved WreckIt Ralph 1, so hopefully WreckIt Ralph 2 can pick up and be another fantastic film. Second last, we have Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, and this is the animated superhero film, my second one on this list, and it's coming from Sony, and it's coming in December. The trailer was released so early, like a year earlier. It's got Miles Morales, it's not Peter Parker, and it's animated, so obviously not as excited as I am for Spider-Man Homecoming 2, but nevertheless, it's still a Spider-Man film. It's a Marvel property, it's a Spider-Man movie, and seeing an animated Spider-Man film being in theaters theatrically, I reckon that's something really exciting, and I reckon that's an opportunity to be a really great film. And finally, guys, we have Aquaman. James Wan on board. He's a fantastic director. Jason Momoa was one of the shining lights in Justice League as Aquaman. Aquaman has always been one of my favorite characters from the DC universe, despite unpopular opinion once again. He gets a lot of stick, but guys, I absolutely love the character. I love him in the comics. I love his character. I love his style. They can do so much visually appealing stuff with what's it called, Atlanta. Mira and his relationship is very key. It just has all these potentials to be a really spectacular film. James Wan's a great director. Jason Mraz is a great actor. I love how he's being portrayed in the DCEU. So hopefully they can do something spectacular and bring justice to the character of Aquaman and create a really good DCEU film, just like they did with Wonder Woman. I really believe that they can, as Wonder Woman was just standing alone. The director had the connection with the character, and they just put a really good story on screen, and I'm really hoping they can do the same for Aquaman. They have so many possibilities. Atlantis, if they do it right, it's going to be great. If they do Black Manta right, another thing, Black Manta's in this film, it's going to be great. I can't wait to see Black Manta and Aquaman in action. I really have faith this will be a good DCU film. And yeah, with Aquaman being a good character that we know from Justice League, I really feel like this is going to be a great film, and I cannot wait. So those are my picks for the top anticipated films of 2018. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Comment down below if you agree with my picks, and if you don't agree or if you give any of your own, please let me know, and I'll see you guys next time. I cannot wait to get into 2018. Happy New Year, guys. Let's do this adventure together.